end of this video, there is no good reason that you shouldn't be able to run up literally millions of dollars in business funding that will literally enable anyone, regardless of their age, gender, or occupation, or previous income history, or business income history, or whatever, to literally get their hands on millions and millions of dollars in potential business funding. So we're just gonna get right into it, but as always, the number one problem I always see with people with trying to get business funding is the number one thing. They don't even have a business. Believe it or not, it's hard to have a business when you don't actually have a business. And I'm gonna put a little side tangent right here, but it's actually hard when you don't have the right kind of business. There are really two main businesses that I would never recommend anybody to actually claim that their business is, because when you claim that your business is these two things, you will never get funding due to their high risk. Number one, car rental. A lot of people have the idea of doing a Turo-based car rental, which is not a bad business at all, and I don't want to dog on that business, but what I will say about that business is that it has a very high failure rate, especially compared to the amount of money that it takes to start it. Think about it. You need $100,000 just for 2 cars, so that's only 2 assets, making you maybe max $200 a day if everything is booked. Let's be nice and say that's $6 grand a month. That's still going to be quite a while until a potential bank sees that income back. Plus, they have to be reliant on whatever the market is. Plus, it's high net worth for a relatively low cost per day. So as you can see there, businesses do generally have a harder time approving loans for car rentals. So unless your actual plan is to be doing a car rental, you shouldn't lie on your business and you shouldn't say that your business is something that it's not. Instead, it's better to just get approval with a special kind of loan for the thing that you actually want. But for a car rental, generally, it's actually going to be much worse for your business if you decide to list it as a car rental business. So just keep that in mind. The second thing you never want to list it as is a restaurant. I don't know why, but I've seen a lot of people, especially in my private community, where people will register their business as a restaurant, and that also has an extremely high failure rate. I don't know why you would do that. It's kind of just a weird concept. I don't really understand what the main reason is for that, but it should be self-explanatory why you shouldn't do that. Number 2, no pay stubs for the business. So the reason why a bank would approve you for a loan is because you can prove to that bank that, hey, let's say that the minimum payment for this loan is $1,000 a month. I make $10,000 a month, and I have this much in assets. Therefore, if you approve me for this funding, there's literally no way that you couldn't get it. Now, how do you create pay stubs? This is something that I talk about in my private community, so if you want a full guide to that, where I'll explain how to create pay stubs, even if you have no actual income, you guys can just go ahead and check that out. But I'll put y'all in some game right now. Basically, what I generally recommend is getting yourself a business credit card and finding a reason to actually put a lot of money on that card, and then that money will just come right back to you. So let's say you want to just credit. So an easy thing to do is obviously in investing in some kind of drop shipping or Amazon FBA business. I do have a plan on making a video for Amazon FBA and how you guys can actually use business credit to literally cash the hell out with Amazon FBA. It's such an underrated method, but that's for another video. That's not for today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. I do also talk about it in the private community. I do have a video explaining how to do it. Basically, what you do is that you just buy out a bunch of product, and there's specific stores where you should do that on, and then you just buy it with business credit, and then you sell the product. But if the product doesn't all sell, then you get a refund on it. And there's certain places where you can do that and certain places where you can't do that. So if you guys want a full explanation of that, I will be making it, but for now it is on the private community if you guys want to go check that out, which will be the first link down below. Essentially what you can do is you can kind of artificially create pay stubs for your business for essentially whichever month we're going to be doing this for. So let's say we're going to go ahead and take out a $10,000 loan on our business credit card that we have, and after we get that $10,000 loan, we just continuously pay it off, and maybe we have to eat a little bit of interest cost. You pay it off over the course of like 2 months. You use any pay stub program ever. TurboTax is a good one, and you can just use that, create yourself a pay stub, and then submit that to the bank, and be like, hey, I spent $5,000 and I got $10,000 this month for my business. Can I get approved for this loan? There you go. That's a pretty easy way to artificially create a pay stub. It's really more about just like creating an actual income that you can like point to and be like, yeah, there was this charge and there was this money coming in. It doesn't really matter if it's coming in from like either one only place or a bunch of other places. It's more about just creating that look of like, yeah, this is a business that is actually going through money. And number 3, it's not having a tax return on the business. So fun fact, you can file a tax return anytime. It doesn't matter when you do it. You just go to the irs.gov, say file my business tax return today, and then you just file it, and not even to like do anything with it, but just to have it. When you have that tax return, it makes the business look so much more official, because there's really 3 things that any bank would look at when it comes to getting you approved for a loan, which is age on the business, age on the bank account, and then tax returns on the bank account, like length of tax returns. And even if you just have 1 year, like 1 year of each, and then obviously what they're looking on over top of that is actual money coming in the business. Like that's the thing that matters the most, is can you support the minimums for this kind of business, or can we come in and take your money after? And I just explained to you how to essentially artificially create that. But those are the 3 things that they look for. So just filing a tax return on your business, even if it's a brand new business, is going to make it look much better to the bank than if you just didn't have one. So just doing that is really mad easy, and there you go. Those are pretty much the 3 secret tips that anybody could use to get millions of dollars in business funding. This is how any business ever has gotten funding for their own thing. They've proven, number 1, that they have income. They prove that they file their taxes. They prove that the bank could come in and seize their assets if they want to, even if they don't have to be real assets. And then when bankruptcy is about to start, they hire an asset protection agency. They move all the assets to another business or to their name or to somewhere else, another state, and then boom, just like that, they keep all the money and run. That's how big businesses go bankrupt. That's how small businesses go bankrupt. And that's how you could go bankrupt. And the only thing that you should be bankrupting is that subscribe button right there. Also, like I said, make sure to check out my private community. It's only about 20 bucks a month, and I have all the secrets on there. I have every single trade line that I'd recommend for personal and business credit. I also have an in-depth guide on how to start a business for literally about $0. The only thing that would cost you is the state filing fees. No more $300 for LegalZoom. It's literally like just 50 bucks for the state filing fees. I paid 54. And then you can have your business and do whatever the hell you want with it. I include how to file. I include how to create EINs. I include how to create burner bank accounts. I include how to transfer money from a business into your personal name without it being weird, without, you know, it looking like you're committing fraud. Like there's a way to do it that nobody really knows. And obviously I don't want to burn out any of that stuff, so that's for private community members only. But yeah, and anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.